Hi, thanks for joining me today. My name's Sam. I'm here to get you more acquainted with your new Sharp copier. All right, when you're ready to make a copy, you're gonna walk up to the copier. You'll have this copy button here. Go ahead and select that. You can put your originals either in the top feeder or on the actual glass here. Gonna put it up, face up. If you're gonna be in the top feeder, there's also an image here in case you forget which direction to put it on. Then you're just gonna select whatever it is that you would like. So number of copies, would you like it in black and white or color? If you would like it to be two-sided, you can do that here as well. 1 to 1, 2 to 2, however you wanna do that. So let's say I wanna convert these two to a single one-sided document. I'm gonna hit that. You can also select the type of paper that you would like to do. And then when you're ready, just go ahead and hit start. All right, next up, I want to show you how to scan and add new people to your address book. So right here, you're going to go over to the email icon. If you want to add a new email address, you're going to go up to the top where it says address book. And over on the right, if this is hiding, you're going to pop this out, hit add new. You're going to put in the name that you want it to show up as in the address book. We'll just call this one test. And then you'll put in the corresponding email address that you would like to have it show or go to. Hit OK. Then you're gonna go ahead and hit register here. It'll show up now in your address book. Hit OK. All right, next up I want to show you how to scan. So when you walk up to the copier, you're going to go to the email icon here. You'll go to your address book and select your relevant person you want to send the email to. Hit OK. On this screen, you can also define your subject and file name if you'd like to rename it. For example, so it doesn't default to PDF 12345, you can change it to whatever you like so you don't have to rename it when you get back to your computer. You can also adjust the settings here if you'd like. You can change the file format as well. So if you want to change it from a PDF to say a searchable Word doc, you can do that here as well. And then any changes you want, you can also turn on encryption if that's important to you and password protect it. And then you'll hit OK. You'll put your originals again either on the glass or up at the top on the document feeder, and then you'll hit start. Okay, now if you're ever gonna do heavy stock or labels, think of anything that isn't malleable or regular paper. You always wanna run that through the bypass tray. So we're gonna use labels as an example here. What you're gonna do is load it into the bypass tray. The reason why you can't load it into the drawers is because, as a reminder, the paper comes up and has to flip over. So if you have really thick paper or labels, it's gonna get stuck in there, versus on the bypass tray, it's just a straight shot across. When you load the paper here, this bypass tray dialog box will pop up. This is really important because it's gonna default to plain paper. We wanna tell it what kind of paper is it that we're working with. So again, in this case, we're doing labels. So I'm gonna go down to the section that says labels and hit OK. That's extremely important that you adjust it to the paper type that it is, because the diffuser, which again is what heats up the toner, will adjust either more hot or less hot depending on the paper, so that it, number one, has the best quality output, but also doesn't have melting of the labels in this case, or have any issues with your quality or smearing. All right, so next I want to show you of the different features of stapling if your copier has that available. So if I go into the copy function here, down at the bottom you have a button called Staple Sort, which I'm going to select. So you'll have three options that you can do with this specific copier. You can do a staple in the corner. You can choose which position you would like it to go on. In this image on the right, anything that's in that blue will show you where that staple will physically be going. You can do two staples on the border, or you can utilize what's called the stapeless stapling option. So on the stapeless stapling option, you can do up to 5 pages at one time, and it'll crimp together the paper in the top corner. You just load your originals on, just like you would to make a regular copy, hit OK, and hit start. All right, so you have an external convenience stapler here as well. So if you forget to staple through the copier, you can take your copies off of this. Whatever corner you would like stapled is gonna go face down into the insert here. This will flash when it's ready to go. You'll hit the button, and then that'll give you a stapled copy. All right, next I want to show you how to change your staples and clear the hole punches. So over on the external side, you're going to pop this open. For the hole punches, you're going to grab onto this black handle here, pull it out, empty this into the trash can, and then this just slides back in. For your staples, there'll be this compartment over here. This will be unable to face you until the staples are ready to be changed, but this will pop open this way. It'll have a bright green top, just like you see here. And then you'll just follow the directions over here. You're gonna pop out the cartridge, put the new one in, slide that back in there, and then close this, and you're ready to go. All right, so I wanna talk about when you have an error code that won't clear off of the screen. So that's gonna be when you try to clear the jam and you still have a box on here that's stuck. What you're gonna wanna do is what's called a hard reboot. So in order to do that, you're gonna open this like you did when you're gonna replace your waste container machine. And over here on the right-hand side, you're gonna have a main power switch. You're gonna wanna shut that off for about 5 to 10 seconds, turn it back on, and that'll recalibrate or reboot the machine. When you restart it, if there's still an error code, obviously put in the service call still, but a lot of times that'll clear that and resync the copier so that way you're all good to go. Once you replace it, or if you ever want to keep track of your toner, this box will always be here on the screen. That'll always give you what your toner levels are currently at. And when you're ready to order, you're going to either A, give us a call, or B, send us an email over. When you give us a call or send us over an email, you always want to make sure that you reference this 5-digit ID number so that we know exactly who it's going to and where to send it. Give us a call at either 714-689-1700 or for supplies at c3tech.com. Okay, want to talk about the jam points at the top of the machine. The first one's going to be right here on your top feeder. So this would be for when you're doing a copy or a scan. If it gets jammed, go ahead and open this guy up, pull the paper with the gray knot against it so you don't get any jams or tears on the paper. The second one is going to be when you open this up. Remember, on the machine, anything that's green is good to touch. You won't break it. Go ahead and pop this guy open, scroll this down, and it'll push the paper through, which you can then pull out and clear the jam. The other thing while we're up here on the top is to notice if you have a line that's going through your copies or your scans. This is built in right here on the machine. You just pop it off. A lot of times there's dust here that collects as you make a lot of copies. It will happen naturally. You're just going to clean the glass like so, put this back in here, and then you're all set to go. All right, next is going to be over here on the left side of the copier. You're going to have a couple of jam points here to recognize. Starting from the bottom, if it's jamming from the drawers, this opens up. Pretty easy to just pull the paper out. The biggest one is going to be this guy here. So this pops open. This is where paper can get stuck a little bit more, we'll say aggressively, than other places. So if you're ever uncomfortable clearing the jam, just give us a call, put in a service call. That's what we're here for. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull out the paper gently. You always wanna make sure if this is opened up, you can feel the heat off of this. This is what's called the fuser. The fuser is what heats up the toner to put on the paper. If the paper's stuck on there and you cannot get it out, do not put in any pencils, paper clips, anything at all to get the paper out. Because the film is very delicate. Just put in a service call and we'll take care of it for you. Other than that, there is some green buttons in here that will help release the paper as well. Again, you always want to pull with the grain, not against it. And lastly, just to reiterate, if you feel some resistance or aren't comfortable clearing this part of the copier, just put in a service call and we'll take care of it for you. Right, we're going to follow the path of the paper. So as a reminder, the paper is going to come up from the drawers. It's going to go up on the side over where we did our other jam points, flip over and exit out through your finisher. So at the top, there's going to be 3 places that you're going to want to check for jams. The first one's going to be right here, right behind the screen. You're just going to lift that up, pull the paper out. The second will be pressing this button here. Again, the pathway is going to go flat across, so you're just going to pull it out. If it gets stuck, again, there's going to be a wheel here that'll help push the paper out for you to pull it out. Go ahead and close those. And then if it makes it to the finisher, this is going to be your third jam point over on the left-hand side. Again, anything that's green in the machine is good. You can touch it. So you're going to open this guy out, pull this up, and then again, if your paper's stuck in between, just use this to push the paper out, pull it out, and clear the jam. Okay, now I want to talk to you about your waste container and your toner for the machine. So really important to always have a waste container on shelf at all times. The waste container is the one thing that we cannot monitor, so make sure you always have a backup, because when the waste container is full, the machine will shut down. So when you're ready to change the waste container, you're going to open up this compartment. It's going to be this black box here. When you're ready to, you're going to pop out these two green buttons and take out the waste container. When this is ready to be changed, you just throw it out. It's not toxic or anything. Put the new one in, take it out of the box, put it in at a slight angle like this. Pop it back in, it'll click. Close that, and you're all set to go on the waste container. For the toner is going to be just above that. So I'm going to open up the next compartment. Everything is color coordinated for you. So you have black, cyan, magenta, and yellow. Don't worry about if you don't know which socket it goes into. When you're ready to change it, the machine won't let you put in something that doesn't fit into that slot. But when you're ready to change the toner, a box will pop up similar to this on the screen that'll let you know the black, for example, is ready to be changed. You're going to hit OK. The box will open out. You'll take out the old toner, put the new one in, close this back up, and then close this, reset for you, and you're all set to go. All right, that concludes our training. If you have any other questions, please give us a call at 714-689-1700 or send us over an email at supplies@c3tech.com or service@c3tech.com. Thanks so much and enjoy your new machine.